I'm not late. You're late. I might have gotten distracted by watching YouTube videos. I was like, oh wait, what time is it? Ah, it should have started by now. Well, let me go ahead and set my algorithm to clean, and there we go. Okay. Anyway, let me go ahead and do the hellos. We have Azure, hello, hello. Robin, hello, hello. And AJ, hello, hello. Pounce indeed. And Dio, hello, hello. Butter procurement done? Good. Oh, man. Yeah, I was like, oh, God. So, hey, long, hello, hello. Like, I like to watch some, like, so like, I'm like one of those really roundabout kind of people. Like, I will watch, instead of watching something, I will watch someone who is obsessed with it talk about it. So I refuse to watch, read, or listen to Overlord, but I love people talking about it. I lied, I read the manga, but like, just because you got these neurotic people who will be like, so I've done my calculation and it took approximately this long for Einstein to walk 3 feet. I'm just like, why are you like this? Also, hey there, Mexican Task Force. So welcome in, welcome in. My name is Semi Enigma. I'm an Elder Dragon Mom boss. Thank you so much for joining the organization. You can pick up your badge at the front desk. Valid. I like the first season, but I kind of dropped in the second. Like, hi, hello. Like, the thing about, I like Overlord's, Jose, baby, you've been here for like 2 seconds. It's a wild, that's, like, I like the world building of Overlord, but and I honestly didn't like Overlord. I had to unfollow and follow to chat. What? That's weird. Anyway. But like, I like, basically, I actually, for the longest time, I didn't actually look into Overlord because I didn't realize it's kind of a comedy. Like, the power scaling stuff is not the point. It's just funny. But it's not an outright parody, so it's hard to notice. We all desire the hour-long talking video of a media which you watch with snacks. Yes. Oh, Shammy, your goofiest son has arrived. Okay, hi Roderick, hello, welcome in, welcome in. But like, what's that? Oh yeah, but like, so I actually just refused to get an Overlord because it looked like, you know, overpowered nonsense, and I got to the point where there's this guy who just basically makes recap videos, but what he does is he basically just talks about stuff that got left out of the anime but was in the novel. And I followed this guy religiously because it's also he's also the only reason I think ReZero is good. Because I didn't like it either. I came with tactical tax evasion. Honey, no, I just finished my taxes. And chocolate bunnies. Okay, you're accepted. But I like the world building of Overlord, and there was some criticisms I had about it that honestly do technically get addressed, and I'm okay with that. Because I thought it was a bunch of, and then also Demiurge. Demiurge is the main reason I think it's remotely good. Because I unapologetically love Demiurge. So, because like in my opinion, no enemy will give Ainz as much stress as freaking Demiurge. Demiurge gives him so much stress, and I love that. I'm like, when your own minion is the worst thing that could ever happen to you, that's great. But yeah, sometimes it's a crying shame that they cut out the content that was in light novels, and I understand it's kind of hard to figure out what's important from the light novels, because I do read light novels, by the way, and they will have so much nonsense in there that it's hard to tell what's actually important, you know? Yes, there's a lot of inner dialogue, you're right, yeah. Hey, Axel, hello. Oh, you're here early for once. What do we talk about? We're talking about Overlord and how I like Overlord, but like for really stupid reasons. Like I like how like Ainz is just a little stress ball, and he's just great. I'm not a fan of Albedo, but I don't think I'm not one of those people who are like, don't put her in there. Albedo is fine, but Demiurge is better. My spine. Anyway, like I love Demiurge because he's literally okay. So I do like lawful evil demons, the ones who are like, they're not like weird little chaos gremlins. They're basically systematically evil, you know. Like he's not like, yes, he loves him some delicious suffering, but he's also just kind of efficient to a scary degree, which is why he's Leo's dad. You know, I like Overlord too. Albedo's like Albedo is like, she's just kind of, in my opinion, Albedo kind of drags things down, but I know she's there for the like, Albedo is there for the isekai crowd, you know, the ones who are just here for the girls, the harem or whatever. That's what Albedo's here for, and she suffers for it. Like the fact that Shoutir is a way more interesting character, but because she's even like lolly bait, but like Shoutir is a way more interesting character. Same with the slime one. Oh, not the slime woman. Hey, hello, no, you fed the cat, good cat. Fan service mail, like I feel kind of bad for the fan service character, which is what Albedo is. Not to say that she doesn't have her good points, like she does, but her being the fan service character or the fan favorite character legitly does her a disservice, because there's just some story types that she's not going to be able to get into because she is the waifu, you know. Like, and there's other waifus in this freaking series who are super interesting, you know. Hey, triple hello, you know. But I love the world building. I do like how, you know, even though it was kind of a random thing, Ainz is like, well, I guess we are gonna take over the world. And I also do like that the world does feel like it's organic. You know, like it exists basically at one of my favorite, like the thing about isekai is it has a habit of the fantasy world starts existing when the isekai protagonist gets there. One thing I do appreciate about Overlord is that it actually has a history before Ainz even frickin' gets there. So there's a lot of cool stuff to get into. It does have some edgy nonsense. It does have some edgy nonsense because, you know, assault is apparently just for women, but you know what? Everybody gets eaten by roaches, so it's fine. Let's see, fan service, and she's actually getting pretty decent character development in the later seasons. She feels conflicted when Ainz is being merciful, because it does completely against her moral code of mercy being weakness. Yeah, like I actually do like that Albedo has the problem of she was a complete character, but Ainz fucked with one thing and basically ruined her, and he feels bad about it. I'm the one now, don't worry about it. I mean, yeah, Triple is technically like the fan service mascot. Like the camera's just zooming in on his butt at all times. The bound daddy. Not to mention Ainz being overpowered is like, Ainz being overpowered doesn't bother me that much, like, because he's like Ainz is a borderline parody character. He like, the fact is him being magically powerful is actually not the point. Him being a social freaking failure is the best part about him, where he's like, he has only intimidation, and it's kind of funny that every time he has to deal with Demiurge or Demiurge's plans, he's just like, oh, and then like Demiurge has to gaslight himself into thinking that like Ainz is a genius, even though he's blatantly not. And like Ainz had to trick Demiurge into basically letting him be like, yeah, I did something stupid because I'm testing you. And then freaking Demiurge is like, yes, of course. That makes sense. And I'm like, god damn it, Demiurge. But Demiurge is so great. He feels guilty. Also, low-key, the maids are better waifus. Like, the maids are great. One thing I also do appreciate is that Overlord does actually just let some fan service characters be that, where I also like how their creator, like, because I'm like this. If you look at every single character I've created, you could probably figure out the stuff I'm into. Like, again, Leo. And I do like how that's reflected in a lot of the characters. Also, I like Mare for completely normal reasons. You know? It's like, get that camera away from me! You have gaslight. I like how, like, Demiurge is so good at gaslighting, he can gaslight himself. We know something is a thing for, but I do love butlers. I do. I like the uniform. I like the, you know, the behavior. I like the undying devotion and or annoyance at their boss. Just love me some butlers. I don't like maids as much just because maids, like, I don't know. Maids don't get the cool professionalism that butlers do. Maids are kind of just made of, you know, falling over and serving tea and, you know, being hit by ballista shells or something, you know. Ainz, no, Demiurge, we are not sacrificing children in a demonic ritual. Demiurge, brilliant master, show mercy so the rest can grow into loyal dogs at your beck and call. You are truly a visionary. That is literally what Demiurge does. Like, literally, like Ainz could just trip and fall over by complete accident, and Demiurge will convince himself that this is literally just a ploy to pretend that he has weakness so that the enemy will underestimate him so he can completely obliterate their spirit. Like, that is Demiurge. I'm just like, Demiurge is my ideal man. Like, he is so good. But so, like, he's smart, but he has to kind of make himself dumb because his boss is dumb. Hi Elliot, hello. And then you just have Albedo, who's just Albedo. Like, I can't. Also, yay, thank you for the hydrate. Hi, hello. Let me drink my my tea. We have Lady Earl Grey tea today, which is just Earl Grey with oranges in it. But Ainz the ruthless side of the true villain. Like, the thing is, it's not that hard to be ruthless in the world of Overlord because the people be kind of stupid. like, I'm not saying that they're like Marvel humans stupid, but they're kind of dumb. But they can't help it. They're from the medieval times. An evil looking man with glasses looks like a butler and acts like a himbo. Well, somebody found her ideal man. And he wears a suit. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, the guy who made Demiurge was bisexual as hell, because he's just like, no, this man's too hot. I know that, like, the anime be trying to make him look like he's not sexy, but he totally is. He's got that, what are the kids called? He's got that aura. He's got that. You know? And I like this man just freaking casually taking over countries and whatever, and I'm just like, he's so great. And I just how, like, Mare looks like he's a boy failure, but actually isn't. Who else do I like? Oh, and well, obviously I like Sabas because I love me some accidental lawful goods. You know, I like me some Sabas. Sabas is just a nice grandpa. I like Sabas. Or I was gonna say pizzazz. I mean, that works too. Anime is never shy about making a man beautiful. Exactly. Managed to pass a driving test today. That's good. That's good. You can now do some vehicular manslaughter. But like, but yeah, but I like the world building of Overlord. Like I like that's actually where I kind of got the like the idea to let the world, the game, kind of like with my isekai story, the fact it's a game world, it's just, but the game world is a real world, not a world created by the game, but a world that exists that is parallel to a game. I like the old man. If I would become a butler character, I want to be a butler that can throw hands like him, like Walter D. whatever from Helsinki. I do love me some combat butlers. They're just, I don't know, they're just a great package, you know. Then I love me some butler romance. Butler romance is funny because you have two types of butlers in romance. You have the butler that respects their boss so much they feel like they can't cross the line, but they're secretly perving in private. Or the ones who are blatantly into their boss knows, and they're just refraining from doing anything because they like tormenting their boss. Those are my two favorite type of freaking butler romance. Overlord had me for a season. Yeah, the problem with Overlord is definitely, it kind of, I think the problem with Overlord is it's a little too, it's not sloppy enough for the average anime viewer. I think that's the issue with Overlord. Overlord's great if that's your niche, but if you are into some isekai slop, it loses you immediately. Because like, technically Ainz's harem is literally an entire nation. Like, it's an entire nation of people. If you're like, because like, and it doesn't help that his NPCs are like, no, you can't just like Ainz, you must worship the ground he walks on or you are dead. There was no in between. Thanks for starting the stream right as my burger guy. Hi Skeleton, hi. I'd also like to throw hands, like a bucket of plastic hands. Yes, do it. Butler walks into the grid hall filled with assassins. Like, good evening, guests. I am the butler of this fine manor. One of my jobs is taking out the trash like you. Like, I also love me some clingy butlers too. Like, because basically, because I was looking on my story the other day, and like I like how like yeah, the trash man. Like, I do like that Leo, like, who's my demon butler. He's not my demon butler for me, but like, because that's Daniel, but like my OC demon butler. I like how technically he loves him some he loves him some human suffering, but like, if it doesn't involve human suffering, he's very, very neutral about it, which is why he gets along with Stella, because like Stella be doing some bonkers nonsense and he's like the only one that can kind of keep her on track. Like, he's the only one that can basically keep her from like running off into the sunset to find a train or something. He's just kind of like, mistress, stop. Like, and he'll just physically carry her back, you know, because like, and the thing is, like, he would love to know what she would be like as like a freaking demon queen, and that is literally his goal, but he's fine if she never gets to that point because he thinks she's fine just the way she is. Like, the whole him sleeping in the closet thing is still the funniest thing, because he would prefer to just watch her sleep, but she's like, no, that's weird. He's like, but I've been doing it for thousands of years. She's like, yeah, well, no. It's weird. You know? So he's like, okay, fine. So since he's not allowed to sleep under her, well, not sleep, but just exist under her bed, he has to stay in the closet. Because he refuses to have his own room. Like, I'm just like, he's so clingy. It's so great. I love him. But yeah, I was having like some fun with that. There's this one manga I read like last year about a teen who was born without magic, so he does the logic thing using a book to summon demons, as one does. And one of these demons is a butler, and bro, the way the butler looks, either A, like semi they are a woman that loves butlers, or B, bisexual man that loves butlers. And also he is very clingy, as he should be. Yes, we are talking about your favorite demon butler who totally didn't do anything wrong, Leo. I love Leo so much because he's like, he is literally, if like Stella is not involved, he does not care. So Undying, like, yeah, I do love me some Undying Loyalty. I do. Well, purple is purpling. I love it. Next Crate. Hi, Next Crate. Hello. Welcome in. But like, and the fact that he, like, Stella has to kind of just keep him from doing things, like, he's forbidden from, like, because he's an archdemon, so he can make minions. She has forbade him from doing that because she knows he's just gonna cause chaos with them. Like, he will, like, he can make imps and he can make full-on demons because he is a straight up like archdemon. So she's like, yeah, you're not allowed to do that unless I tell you to. He's like, all right, fine. Damn Skippy, I'm a purple boiler. So yeah, that's Leo in a nutshell. It's just like, you know, but the thing is, if he's not actively trying to torment humans, he's a really good butler. Like, he is a very good butler. He's super hyper competent, you know, he's always prepared for anything Stella needs, you know. But like, and so some people will forget he's evil because he's just such a good butler most of the time. Like, Stella forgets too sometimes. Like, sometimes she'll forget and she's like, oh wait, he's evil. Not the one hell of a butler. But like, but I do appreciate that about him, that he actually is a very competent butler. You know, he could do all the cooking and the cleaning and all that. You know, he's just obsessed with Stella, that's all. Like, the only thing that he distinctly straight up does not like is if anyone else if anyone else takes care of her. You can call me Takugamer. Welcome in. My name is Semi Enigma. I'm an Elder Dragon mom boss. Thank you so much for joining the organization. You can pick up your badge at the front desk. Can I just call you? Oh, Otaku Gamer. God damn it. I can't read. Hey, Otaku, hello at all. You gave me a meme idea? I'm scared. First of all, it's like weirdly like segmented on here, okay? But welcome in. I like to think that Leo's cleanliness goes down into his DNA, like if a mage clones Leo so they could have a strong demon by their side, the clone would just look around to see a mage and say like, you aren't Stella, and just burst the mage into flame. Like, because the thing is, most demons don't get this attached. I'd say most, he's not the only one, but most of them don't get attached to their masters just because, again, most of the time their goal is their master's downfall. They are trying to get you to do something that'll get you murdered. You know, it's pretty rare for demons to actually feel any type of affection towards their master. It usually tends to come from if you survive long enough for them to actually get attached to you, then they might start to like you. Like, and when I say like, it has to be at least like a couple of 100 years, you know, depending on the demon. So for Leo, he's been with like Stella for thousands of years from his perspective. For her, it's been like a couple of years, but for him, it's been thousands of years because of the way the game time works, you know? And so for him, he went from indifferent to kind of liking her to be hilariously obsessed with her. Like, he's actually at that point where, like, if she somehow actually straight up dies, he will not want to exist anymore because she is just his reason for existing, you know? Now, she does not know he feels this strongly about her. She thinks he just likes her, like, because she thinks he's hot. Because he thinks she's hot. You know? She does not realize that this man is obsessed with her. She has no idea. And he's not really vocal about it. It's one of those things you have to kind of realize what he's doing. Like, you can't be normal with someone that wants to watch you sleep. You know? Like, she does not realize him wanting her to watch her sleep even though he does not need sleep is kind of weird. Like, she doesn't realize how weird that is. She's just like, that's kind of creepy. But for him, he's just like, she's just so nice to look at. Because she's alive and whatever. Like, never mind that she was like in a coma, you know. Like, and the fact that he and the reason he doesn't need to eat, like, the thing is, the only reason he doesn't need to eat or sleep is because she has so much BS magic that it just sustains him, you know. Because demons basically, they live off of like two things: the magic of their master and souls fed to them. Because Stella has so much BS magic, he doesn't need to eat or sleep, but like, he can pretend to sleep if it makes her feel better. But he's just very clingy, you know. If she get hurt, classic anime rage moment, oh, he will go ballistic. If like, he actually, like, if Stella ever got hurt, he would go straight up ballistic. He's just like, first he will take care of her, and then he will rain vengeance upon whoever has injured his beloved mistress. He will not be kind. Demons in subservient roles are pretty interesting. That's why in my comic it doesn't happen. I mean, you don't have to, you know. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want. Oh, cool. So like the demons and demon souls that consume magic energy to sustain themselves. Awesome. Yeah. Like the problem is in this world, since your magic is also tied to your life force, you will start to die if the demon is around long enough. If you don't have enough magic. So most people who do have a demon familiar, most of them will basically just kill people and feed their souls to the demon, so that way they don't just drain them of their magic and or life force. Which is why demons are technically, having a demon is evil. Like, it is. It's because of the way you have to feed them, unless you have so much magic that they don't feel they don't have to sustain themselves. Leo definitely has a secret Stella shrine somewhere in his room. Like, he doesn't have a room, but he does have a pocket dimension where he keeps all his stuff, including the hilarious Stella shrine. That's why he doesn't really need a room. He has a pocket dimension he can stay in. That's also where he keeps every single dead person he's killed. So so when he summons like the undead, it's not like they're just random undead. They're people he's killed over the years. He just keeps them in there, like in the refrigerator. Well, then it's exactly like Demon Souls. The only difference is the magical energy isn't mana, it's literally your soul. Probably stay. No, don't worry. He like keeps them nice and frozen so they don't stink. Like, because the thing is, like Leo is, he is a top tier demon, but most demons are able to do stuff like that. They all have their own little cute little pocket dimension they can put stuff in, you know, like. But that's where he keeps his stuff. That's where he keeps stuff he's taken over the years. That's where he keeps his undead. That's where he keeps his imps, which he does have. He's just not allowed to let them out because Stella said no. And any monsters or anything that he thought was interesting, he also keeps in there. They're just asleep in there, you know. Stella does not know where he keeps anything, and she's only recently thought to ask. Because he'll just pull out random bullshit and be like, where did you get that? Like, because she has a magic bag, but he doesn't have anything. He just has a jacket. He just whips stuff out of his jacket like all the time. Like, it's very fun. And then on top of that, he can use like BS magic. So, you know, he's interesting. But yeah, he doesn't deal, but yeah, he's very clingy to Stella. He doesn't like anyone else taking care of her. Like, no one else is allowed to like dress her or like help her get dressed or do her hair. Only he's allowed to do that. He will fight somebody. Like, he's just like, you just don't know her like I do. You'll do a bad job. If I see one lace out of order, obviously you deserve death. Because only I am allowed to have the privilege of helping her get dressed in the morning. I was about to say, Stella asked for like a pickaxe or something, and, or something big, and Leo just hands the fold, fold behind his, and he pulls out the pickaxe from his bag. Yeah, pretty much. He just whips it out of nowhere. Like, he's great. The funny thing is, he actually does. He also does not like other demon familiars. Like, there is one that he will meet like way later that he does not like. He hates her. Because like she's basically just my version of Albedo, and I love her. I think her name's like Melania or something, because she is one of the servants of my parody of Ainz, which is Ardia, who's also basically a skeleton lich king or whatever. And like, she's like, you know, like Ardia is basically her god, because like, just like Leo, she has been with him for thousands of years, you know. So she's like, you know, he's the best thing ever, and Leo's like, no, fuck you, Stella's the best thing ever. And so they will fight with each other all the time. Because they're like, no, my master is the best one ever, fuck you. Like, they do not get along, and the only reason they tolerate each other is because their prospective masters are like, please do not do any demonic wars in the hallway. Anyway, let's get this map started. Let me go ahead and pull up the map, because that is a nice non-committal thing to work on. I was like doing some writing and I realized I need a map. I need a map of this city, because this is going to be the starter city. You know, like a lot of Isekai have starter cities, you know, or hub cities, the one that they just kind of stick around in. That's basically what this is going to be. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna switch on other area. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You gotta, no, no. You gotta earn this guy. You can't just have him. How dare you? You can't just start out with King Dribble. What are we doing here? This isn't a charity. No, it's not Walden. Is this city going to be the circular one? Like, yeah, it's the eyeball. Like, all big cities in this setting have walls around them because, I'm sorry, I really do feel like because monsters are basically just normal, that you do need to have a walled-in city most of the time, unless you're basically up on a freaking on something that can kind of separate you from things. All big cities have to have walls. Let me see. Walden is just the worst one. What do you mean random noises? How dare you? I don't make random noises. I make completely normal noises. Cass, shut up. Anyway. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so we're in the planning stage right now. Actually, I think I want it to go around here. But yeah, in this world, oops, what I meant to do. There we go. But yeah, in this world, basically all larger cities, with a few exceptions, have to have a wall around them to protect everybody. Valid, not the vintage meme. Some attacks on the Titan walls, because they do have some big monsters. Like, and the other thing that the walls do is the walls do have magic in them to help ward off strong monsters and stuff. Guard walking around looking into the forest nearby and seeing his silver glowing eyes in the darkness of the woods. Ah, another skinwalker, Bruce. Get the holy water. Another one of those things are just getting close to the wall again. Exactly. We gotta, you know, we gotta deal with the skinwalkers or whatever. Are monsters edible? Also, hi there. I'm just awkward. Hello. Anyway, let's see. But are monsters edible? Is there a profession of monster hunters purely to to harvest them for culinary arts? Yes. Like, monsters aren't really themed as distinctly different from animals in this world. Technically, it's only really called a monster if it's, like, you know, big enough to kill you. Like, monsters are just kind of big, you know, but you can't, like, people can't eat monsters. People have been trying to figure out how to eat monsters in all kind of ways, even the poisonous ones, because this is not like one of those, you know, oh, there's like normal world, and you know, this is like the magic is everywhere. Okay, yeah, I think I want the, I don't want it to be like that. And there's a bit of a lake right here. Yes. Listen, I ain't going to a restaurant and start gobbling on a goblin. I'm still debating about whether or not I want goblins in this world or not. Like, or not even goblins, but if I want to make my own flavor of goblin. Like, this world does not have horses, but it does have centaurs, which makes things very funny. Also, these centaurs are called equidae. They are literally just people and horse. They're just centaurs. They live in the Great Plains. I love their culture very much because they love to dance. They're very cute. They love running everywhere. They like kind of leaving them to themselves. Also, the goddess that made them was Solaria. Solaria made a lot of people, okay? She made a lot of people, including these horse people. They're very lovely. Let's see. Can humans eat monster flesh to gain its power? No. No, they can't. It's like saying you're gonna get the power to peck things harder by eating chicken. It doesn't really work that way. What happens when a centaur breaks their legs? They tend to either get it healed, or if that's just not power, like if they're not in a position to get it healed by a healer, then they will basically have to have a type of a type of depending on how bad it is, either a type of prosthetic, if they have to basically just chop it off, or they will basically have the equivalent of a horse wheelchair. Let's see. I like this happening here. Okay, we got this little mini lake. Okay. Okay, good. Good. I have to figure out which district I want to be where. All this is farmland, by the way. This is all farmland. But yeah, they have like an entire culture of and stuff like that. I mean, you have dwarves and elves. Well, the thing about God, like, basically the reason I have to kind of take my time with some things, because dwarves were not here originally. They were made by a human guy. Is if I'm gonna have goblins, I have to figure out how they got there, you know, because every race I make has basically in this world is made by a god. They don't just show up out of nowhere. So I have to figure out, okay, so if they do exist, either one of my existing gods made them, or I'm gonna have to make another god to make them, because that's how this world works. Every being that is here has been made by a divine being. You know, like, that's my rule, is that nobody just shows up out of nowhere. There is a reason that everybody is here. Better city planning than some countries, damn. So if I am gonna make goblins, I have to figure out, number one, what is the goblin flavor that isn't just weird Jewish people? And also, like, what are they? Because they won't have the connection to elves that that some goblins tend to have, you know? And again, I'm basing this off of my own like research, that a lot of races kind of have this very much, they're based off of one thing or another. Like, nothing against D&D, but I don't like how D&D does its world building. I don't like D&D world building, and D&D and Tolkien are like the two things that everyone just kind of thinks everyone is supposed to do, and I don't want to do that. Like, that's the thing, like Fae do exist because they were created by Phalencia, the god, like basically the goddess of, like, I don't know, the land or whatever. But she's like asleep, so she makes things subconsciously. So if I'm going to make them Fae, they're gonna look different. Like, I was also tempted to make sexy orcs, but I think I can know where they're from. They wouldn't be called orcs, by the way. They'd be called after the god that made them. So I do have some nations that don't have names yet, and I have to figure out where I'm gonna put them and also what color they're gonna be, you know? Because just like how my elves were basically made by the goddess of darkness, so they're different from like what most people consider to be elves. I have to kind of figure out, okay, so if I'm gonna have what's the best way to lure a barbarian using rage bait? Chip will go home, go to the corner. Okay, this looks good. This looks good. So now that I've done that, we're gonna just do this. So I have to figure out like what district is gonna be where. Okay, let me get out my pen. Let's see. So not a Bane banana. Okay, so if we come in through this way, so then that would make, honestly, I think that most of the, wait, let me just, wait, no, there we go. So I think if you're coming in, so you'd be coming in through this gate, right? Oop, I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So this is, so if we have the main valley here, so we have your main ways into the valleys here. Dark elf, I mean, yeah, dark elves are the default, and it just kind of varies from there. Let's see. So if that's the case, what I probably will do, because you have the river here, so I'm guessing it would be so the entrance to the city will be right here. Okay. Let me do this. Okay, so the entrance to the city will actually be here. Okay. Morning. Hello. Brooke, how you doing? But yeah, when it comes to me, I like, because again, the reason I'm making this is because there's actually a point to the gods actually being like that. Sexy orcs, you say, go on. Like, I'm not gonna make them, I can't do the super tusks. I freaking can't. Because I have to imagine them like, okay, so this is just me, okay? Just me. But I do that. Sometimes I'll test how you can talk with your, like, if you have tusks like that. So if you stick your fingers in your mouth, you know, and you basically have to sound like this. If you had those giant tusks, you'd have to sound like this and not sound stupid, like, because it messes with your bottom lip. So I'd have to figure out if I'm gonna give them like, I'm probably not going to give them tusks, but I'd have to figure out how will they be orcs. You know, if like, not if orcs have underbite. I'm gonna zig DM miss you got what miss you want some weed. Nah, I'm good. Like, so if I'm gonna, because again, when I make people, I want there to be I kind of, because when I do some world building, I need to make it so that, like, number one, which gods actually like made them, and two, like, kind of what their own culture is, you know? It's a surface piercing aviary, maybe. What are you drawing? I am drawing a map. I'm drawing a city map. Okay, so we're gonna have, so this is gonna be the main city gate. This is the main city gate. Okay. So if that's the main city gate, I think the main way out would probably be through here. Okay. So if you want to go through the other side instead of having to go around, this will be the other, well, yeah, this will be the other gate out. Okay, cool. So this will be the main way to leave. Okay. Cool. So we have, so this is going to be the main way to leave. So in through this way, out through that way. Okay. Where's the weed farm? It's over there in Chicago. Anyway, I think tusks can work, but it's more about biology, outward facing tusks, or underbite supplements with larger lips. Like, the only thing is, like, I do have, like, basically orcs are way too close to Oni for me, and Oni do exist in this world. So that's why I don't know if I want to have orcs or not, because I have Oni, and Oni are very, very close. Because I can explain where Oni come from, because their god, like, their goddess made them. So I can explain where they came from, but orcs, like, I don't know if I want to make a distinction for orcs or not. That's more what I'm saying, you know, because, like, elves are kind of important because I personally do like elves, just not the D&D ones. I like the elf concept. You can do a lot with that. Dwarves, I like dwarves because their god left them for dead, you know. And I also just like all the beast nonsense. They're great, you know. We still don't have horses. We have beds. If you ever want to create a new race for your story, hit me up anytime. Like, I can make a lot. I just want to make sure that I don't like this exists, but, like, I can't explain why problem. Maybe orcs and Oni can be a sub race. Ooh, that's an idea. Just make it that orcs are actually just Oni, basically. I might do that. Because they just can't, like, basically, like, so they're just gonna have it. If that's the case, they'll probably have a slight eastern slant to them then, which isn't a bad thing, because Oni are from the eastern nations. And a battle at all. I think orcs and Oni can exist at the same time. I mean, they can, but again, I have to, if they are basically not made by the goddess that created Oni, I'd have to figure out what god made them. And then and that helps me determine what kind of culture that they have. Like, for example, you could go with the Elder Scrolls lore that orcs used to have sharp canines and green skin, and their culture was mix of Mongolian tribes, maybe. Because like if because there is a nation of barbarians called Tarragon, so they would probably be Tarragonian if that's the case. Good morning, nice to meet you. Hey there, Alcor. Hello, welcome in. So I could just if that's the case, I could probably give them their own god, maybe named Tarragon, you know, who's like, because the fun thing though is the gods are not the gods can't act like, unlike the races, gods can pop out of nowhere, and they do. So if I can give them their own god, then that's fine, because gods are important in this world. That's why I'm so harping about it, because I know a lot of people like to have weird atheist magical worlds. I don't want to do that because the gods are important. They actually do something, you know. So I might okay, so so hear me out, chat. What I might do, oh heck yeah, finally caught another semi-stream. Hey Alex, hello, welcome in. So what I might do, chat, is I might have let's see, so I might have the equivalent of orcs, because technically elves aren't called elves, or rather elves get called elves by humans, but they're actually called they're called Noctian because their goddess is Nocturna, so their actual name is Noctian, but people just call them elves because the guy that made humans called them elves. I'm sorry to interrupt, but whenever I get a chance, I left you a small gift on your Blue Sky if you're interested in live reacting to it. I hope it's not anything weird. Let's see. Please don't be weird to me, Chrome. Let's see. Aww, that's so sweet. Thank you. I got one of them there shouted outs on the blue ski. That's so nice. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Some people do be forgetting I'm black. Some people do be forgetting, but thank you. Let's see. So also just so in a situation. Yeah, technically yes. Also, just fun thing, Ellie and me did work on a fantasy type story, and Ellie was an orc, but instead of the brutal battle hungry warrior, she made her soft-spoken and self-conscious. It still hits like a truck. That's cute. But like but yeah, so I might make them from Tarragon. They're very family oriented, so they probably do have a tribe structure, so they're very family oriented. Let's see, like they're gonna be big. They big. Let's see, Tarragon is right next to the Great Plains, so technically they would be from the Eastern nation, so they wouldn't be from a Western one. So they're still gonna have a nation slant to them then. Now I gotta support more black VTubers like you. Good luck. I was gonna say Godspeed. I don't know. Good speed. Thank you very much. Highlight all the black VTubers you can. I believe in you. I know it. So yeah, they you know, they're probably like very they probably do have tribes. They probably have an Eastern slant to them. So they're probably still pretty close to Oni though. They'll probably just be they'll probably still be different. People probably mistake them though. They just don't have horns like Oni do. I'll probably still make them green though. They'll probably still be green, but I won't give them the tusks because I personally can't do it. Because they'll look and sound stupid. But they'll probably still be really big. They'll probably be big. They'll be a part of the Eastern nations then. Let's see, could just be convergent evolution, kind of like the raccoon and the raccoon dog. Maybe. Like maybe. Well, no, I don't really do things that way. I like to make that there's two different gods. They'll make two different beings, but they look similar. Semi black. That's new. You didn't know? You didn't know I was black? Would you think I was Indian, or did you think I was a cosplaying white lady? Or even better, a cosplaying white man. Like, my name is actually Tyler, and I work at Bass Pro Shop. Not Bass Pro Shop. Why was that the first thing I thought of? Okay, so it's going in that way. So this will probably be so this is gonna be like the market. So this is gonna be the market area, because this is like the central part of town. So the god of orcs is just copying the god of Oni's homework then. Because basically the one of the Eastern goddess, she basically made an absurd amount of races. She just made a bunch because she has a problem. She's like, I'm gonna make everything. I'm gonna make cat people. I'm gonna make fox people. I'm gonna make sentient mattresses. I'm gonna make everything. The other goddesses think she's a little hyper, but she's okay. She's basically an overactive child to them. She's like, I'm making everything, and they're like, oh, okay honey, have fun. Like, basically, okay, so the fun thing about the gods in this is that they can warp reality itself. So when these two new gods show up out of nowhere, the two Eastern gods, they just made the world bigger so that way their people can have their own lands. They just made the world bigger. They literally just went whoop and made it bigger. The world was smaller before these two got there, which is why the god that made humans had no reason to be as much of a dick as it was. You see, I mean, you can only have so many bipedal creatures that don't look like... No, there's people that do look like, so it's fine. Sentient mattress, don't tell me there's a mattress mimic that eats people in their sleep. Of course not. May I ask some things? Of course, you may go forth and inquire. Okay, so we have the market here. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, cool. So we have the market here. So this is the central market. Let's see. We have the market here, and then we have like... We'll probably put the train... There's a train station, so we'll probably put the... Let's see. We'll put the... You know what? We'll put the train station here. Yeah, the train station is going to be right there. It's going to be right there. Oops. Oh, but the trains... So the train station is going to be right here, right next to the entrance. Yes. Yeah, I might do that, because like having orcs and then having Oni be two separate species is fine. I think that'll be good. East Sky City's only got one basic circular wall. Semi is being advanced by adding 3 circular walls. Okay, so we have the big wall that is the city proper. So this is the farmlands, orchards, blah 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 blah. And then further in we have the inner city, you know, so the Titans can, you know, have some time to get here. And then in the super center, in the absolute center, this is where the rich live. The rich and nobilita. They're separated from the rabble. I'm not gonna know at all. Okay, so how long does it take for you to make up names for what you create? I have faction and species from last year, and I'm still thinking of lore. I'm sticking on lore for, and I barely have any names. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. Half my stuff is named after plants, spices, and literally just random Latin words. Like, for example, gardenia is a flower. You just spell it differently, and it sounds regal. Hijir is just, I think, Arabic for a type of guitar. Like, tarragon is a spice. Ruan is a type of instrument. Violna, which is a northern Russian-esque country, Violna is just a viola with an N stuck in it. Like, you can pick a theme and then just go with that and just spell things differently. People will not notice. General Grievous voice, to corrupt the inner sphere, glory to the CIS. Gardenia, generally a flower, I can confirm it is. Yeah, like, tarragon is, like, tarragon sounds cool, but it's actually just a type of spice. But I like how it sounds a little savage. Now some, like, there's, and then you have the Eastern nations, Western nations. Noc is just named after Nocturna, which means night, because she's a goddess of night. She is the goddess of darkness, and she's the goddess of darkness, the night sky, and dreams. And she does other stuff, but that's the main stuff people know her for. But so you have Nocturna. She has created Noc. Noc is full of Noctians, stuff like that. And then you got the BS guy who's like, I made humans. My name is Primith. I made humans and dwarves. Okay, bye. He was very unoriginal. He was a Reddit mod. Anyway. Name your characters after random things. Is Tarragon a good twin? Is a twin god that has twin estrogen? No. Any speculative evolution type creatures, like beings off of prehistoric like life, like if turtles evolved into triceratops? Not really, because in my opinion, biological evolution is when you don't really have anything in charge, which is not a bad thing. Okay, if you want to have that in your world, that's fine. But in my opinion, evolution tends to occur when you don't have any divine intervention or any divine presence, you know? Now, you can have cultural evolution. I do have cultural evolution, but I don't really have biological evolution for anything, just because, no. Okay, question from Ellie. Are there any demi-humans or animal races? Yes. There's two basic types. There is beast kin and beast folk. Beast folk does include lizards, lizard folk, or just beast folk, because humans are lazy. So it started to sound like League of Legends. What the fuck? I don't even know what that is. I know what it is, but I don't know how it sounds like that. See, so gods are very involved in the world. There isn't much evolution of species, since most problems can be solved either by praying hard or magic. Not really. Like, I know it's kind of hard to think about, because a lot of people think, like, you know, cleric, but it's more like the gods manage the world as a whole, and they basically handle all of the nature and stuff like that. The only things they do not really control are basically people's minds and what they do with themselves. Like, just because they created people doesn't mean they necessarily say this is what you have to do. They just create it. They literally just imagine like a chunk of people playing The Sims. Like, okay. Imagine, you know how people like to play The Sims and Spore, where you just kind of make stuff, but you can only have so much control? That's basically how this world works. Are Warforged, Puppet, Golem type races in your world? No, but there are people who can make them, but there's not enough of them to be considered their own people. There's like 4. Because they're really hard to make. Not only that, but when it came, they don't even have that. There's been very little world wars, because the reason why is because the Demon King is literally a threat that literally accidentally causes world peace. Accidentally. Cassandra wedding in The Sims. No. Wait, let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. See, the gods are in the middle of working on their world and don't always answer prayers from the yeah, it's like basically ants talking to you. You don't know what the ants talk about because it's so small, but if you see enough ants doing one thing, you'll pay attention. That's actually how the gods work. Like remember, there was an entire segment of time where the elves were being systematically murdered, and their goddess didn't notice until enough of them basically kind of, you know, made the same request, you know, and then something was done about it. Because it's not that, it's basically because these are not good and evil gods, by the way. They are very much like, they're all basically technically neutral. Like, hello, midnight, hello. I'm doing fine, thank you. So it's like, it's hard, I know it's kind of hard to comprehend, but there's not really, these gods are basically just kind of there, but they're not good or bad per se, because most gods don't know what good and bad is. That is something that basically people just kind of made up. So if enough people say the same thing, the god will be like, okay, sure, we'll do that thing. Regardless of what that is. You know, that's how we ended up with the sea, with the continent being sliced in half. You know, which was the fire ant equivalent. Stop it. So the rich and nobility stay up here, so they have their own little section, and then we have the market. We have the mega slums. You gotta put your slums, man. You gotta put your slums somewhere. Mega slums. Whee! Anyway. I'm curious. Look, cool. And again, that's why, like, I have to, when I did the species and their gods and stuff, like, your gods made you, and then it's kind of up to you to what to do with yourself. I'm working on a city map. Okay, so we have the mega slums. They're not even allowed inside the city proper. And then we have the regular schmegular slums. The regular slums. So we got the mega slums, the regular slums, and then we got the rich people. I just imagine like the rich have like an extra thick wall right here, like the thickest wall to keep out the poor. They're like, no, we get a bigger wall because we don't want poor people looking at our stuff. They have like the mega wall. Yeah, you got the hood and the mega hood. They're just crammed away in the back, so, like, so no one sees them. 50-foot wall. Oh, but yeah, you got the, you know, we got the let's see, noble shopping. Yes, shopping. We have the noble shopping district. If there's economic stratification, then there's like, I mean, if there, I'm sorry, but if you have rich people, you will have poor people. We gotta put the black market somewhere. Let's see. So that's there. So we have the train station's gonna be over here. Cool. I would imagine these slums would be as far from the nobles as possible. There's the thing is that the thing about the slums is the slums just kind of develop. You like, the rich don't know they're back there. No one knows they're back there. You know, like it's more like that. Like you can't just pick. Basically, the nobles the nobles were first, and the slums came later. People, you kind of just shove people places. Oh, very cool. Love the layout of the mega slums. Is freaking funny. Yeah, you have because they're not even protected by the inner city. This is like a little lawless area that they just kind of, it's like people who could not get into the city proper end up kind of camping out over here. That's why you have the mega slums. So they do get terrorized on the regular, but this is like, you know, you have to, when it comes to the city, you have to kind of gain access to it, you know. But if you can't, then you end up staying in the mega slums, you know? Let's see, that or the rich dump their trash directly onto the slums. Oh god. Garbage to the riches still has value. Okay, so we have that, and then we have some... So we have the train station here, we have some... Let's see, so we have the... Well, you know, this is like the more, we'll probably put the open market over here and shops over here. Okay. Wait, this is the plaza. There's a shopping plaza. Ah. You ever think of what you're setting, do you ever think of what you're setting if it was a different type of media? Like, I think of my factions as RTS armies most of the time, and then think of the characters as faction. Not really. Just because I don't know enough about different media to really do that. I only know of anime, manga, and novels. Like, that's my main, and audios, like, and audio plays, I guess. So I usually don't really think of them that way. Let's see. So we have the train station here. Where do I want to put the... Where do I want to put the guard station at? It's messed up already. Well, because like a lot of times when people like, you know, because for me there are characters who are from the slums, and also there is a black market, and for story reasons I need to know where that is. This is the only reason I'm making this map, so I can know where things are, because this city, which is the city of Valis, by the way, this city has a lot of characters in it, and so I need to know where things are. There's no mega slums in Bossing Sake. And remember, this is just the inner city. We still have people who live out in the farmlands and stuff. You know, people living out, this is like the farmlands. There's like little mini Mick villages out here, you know? And this is also just, this is like mountain. This is mountain out here, you know? So for me, I kind of need to know where things are so I can know where characters are. Like if someone's running from the, you know, from the city god or whatever, I gotta know where the frick they are. Speaking of guards, I need to know where the guild is. Where is the guild? I imagine the guild would probably be somewhere near the... Okay, I have an idea. So... Okay, so we'll put the city... We'll put the city guild here. The city... So we have the guild. Oh, I can't spell. Help. So we have the guild plaza. And then the train! Trains! We got trains in our fantasy. Hey, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Wait, from the last stream I was in, you mentioned watching, I heard of drifters, but I haven't really watched them per se, so I don't know. What's the city population? I don't go by numbers because numbers don't make sense to me, but the population is large. Not mega large, but large. I just realized. There we go. But the population is large. There any crime families? I love some good slum crime families. There are, there's like 2. Yeah, there's like 2 in this city specifically. There's bigger ones, obviously, in bigger cities. Like, this is not the biggest city. The city's kind of medium sized, but the population is still pretty large because it's because of its proximity to other places. It's a place that a lot of people will travel to get to other places. That's why they even like, because not every city has a train station. Population, I'm trying to think about the population types and stuff. Mega city, like large, like what's the scaling? Yeah, we have large, mega large, trillion large, large Patrick. Like, there you go. Let's see here. So we have that. We got trains. Then we probably have the guild plaza here. Oh shit! Get back in there. We have this here. We have, let's see, so we got the market there, and then we have probably some, you know, probably some housing. So we got some housing, maybe, you know. We have some let's see, we've probably got some mid-class. We got the mid-class over here. Let's see, trains. Oh, let's see here. And we have. Let's see, actually, we'll probably make this like. And then we have like some training. There's some training here because that developed a little bit. Population IDK, a lot. Say, hey, hello, can I get a mega large bulk? Oh yeah, it's made by the same guy who made Hellsing. Oh, real life figures from history go to typical anime dark fantasy setting and invent some things. I remember loving the main character so much I made airship naval seals based off him. Nice. We got meerkat small, panda medium, lion large, whale blubber huge for drink sizes. I can't. Let's see. So we have some housing, probably some. Oh wait, no, even better. These are gonna be some. Let's see. So we're gonna put some. Nope. We're gonna put some trade. Oops. So we're gonna have some trade shops. So we got some trade, like, you know, because when people first get here, they do a lot of business. So we got some trade shops, we got some open markets, we got the guild plaza, we got some trains, then we got some middle class, you know, because the probably where the tradesmen go. Let's see. I'll probably leave some of that stuff open there, because you don't have to plan everything, but like planning like the main stuff you need. I'm gonna need this, and then we have. We got Valus's house. Woo! So we have Lord Valus, who's over there. Let's see here. Also, it's also very dark. Horrible moment to pit in my stomach when I saw it. But again, it's the same game made Helsing. Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with dark fantasy. I just hate the dark fantasy that doesn't know what it's doing with itself. I don't think there's a good there's a good old corrupt government in this setting. There is, but it's not like comically corrupt. It's one of those type of, it's more corrupt than you think, but it still functions, because this Gardenia still has a king. Gardenia still has a king, so this is the king and noble system. This is not like, you know, senators or whatever. And noble, the reason that people are nobles is because they had a okay, yeah, do keep up outside political nonsense to a medium, because then people just want an excuse to talk about whatever, and I am not, this is not the place for that. But it is the king and noble system. So, and most nobles got their nobility because their ancestor fought in the Demon King Wars, and basically everyone has a holy relic. Now, there are some newer nobles that got there because they made money, but most traditional old money nobles are those who have an ancient relic in their house. So it's kind of like, that's how they have their claim to legitimacy, is that, well, my ancestor poked the Demon King in the ankle, so... and didn't die, and he used his, I don't know, his holy ukulele at the time, and so that is why we are a noble house, which is why they get very uppity about people who are the new rich, who basically got recognized for their accomplishments. So they're like, you didn't poke the Demon King in the toe, how dare you? There was a manga, or maybe it was a webtoon comic, where they made the corrupt government official was based off of real corrupt official back during the revolution, and after they learned about him, I can see why they used him. Oh god, like, it's because for me, I'm like, yeah, there's some corruption, but it's kind of like it's not, there's nuance, like, because I like me some complicated, like, I actually figured out, not the toe flashbacks, but for example, the way people treat elves varies differently depending on where you are, and elves have developed a silent language, because the way elves, or Noctians, which is their real name, the way they use magic is literally by just asking the world for things. Because they are inherently from this world. So when they cast spells, it's not like they say words that make sense. They're like, I'm basically asking the spirit of the wind to move that thing over there. That's how elf magic works. They just have to talk to things. Because of that, when they were systematically enslaved for stupid reasons, they had a silence spell placed on them. So it's kind of like, you know, if you were born an elf and you were in captivity, they would place a seal on your throat, which all elves at that time would have. And if you were captured, you would also have the same problem. And so basically elves developed a silent language. Basically they invented sign language because that's how they could communicate with each other. It's a combination of hand signs and facial expressions. So like, And this is something that after the elves were freed and able to basically be summoned back home because their goddess finally heard their voicemail, this ended up becoming a part of actual elven culture, where they literally, if humans are around, they'll start using silent language. Because it's kind of like, you know, when people start speaking Spanish when, like, you know, certain people are around, it's like that. Because they just do not like humans. It's like a harvest was promised to me 3,000 years ago. They communicate like cats. Oh my god. They had to find a way to communicate with each other because they were silenced. Let's see here. He basically employed criminals to steal from civilians, find the civilians' lost items, and then execute his own employees. Because if he gives criminals to the government to kill, they get about, oh my god. And then you gotta hire let's say that we're too good at your job to turn you into, because that's a lot. Yeah, like it's one of those things where I want there to be a reason for things. Like, for example, the whole Demon King thing had a reason. There was a reason why that kept happening. It wasn't just, I don't know, some guy named Jeff decided to be a dick today. Like, there was a reason for the Demon King to show up periodically, you know? It was on purpose. And so there's an entire culture around stuff like that. Bit off topic, but the other day I looked through this weird eBay listing as one of those and found a dial-up phone and a sleeping Goofy as a base, and thought that they were like and my first thought was, come on, somebody, pick it up now. Actually, who is the Demon King? The Demon King is always a different person. It is always a human. Yes, it has to be a human. A Demon King is a human who gets a demon familiar and starts being a dick. And basically, and just, you know, starts absorbing souls and gets more powerful and starts getting OP and just tries to, you know, kill everybody. The last Demon King died hilariously. Not Jeff. It's not, actually, no. It was actually just a system that the god who created humans made. Literally, this guy, and the thing is, if you're probably wondering, how did the guy who created humans, dwarves, and literal demons get away with it? He was actually not powerful enough for the gods to notice. He is the equivalent of someone just kind of walking in, building a freaking, you know, tofu sculpture in someone else's house and leaving without them noticing. He was not powerful enough for the gods to notice he was there, which is why they didn't do anything about him. Can we plunge Jeff into butter? Can we spare some? Well, yeah, we can put Jeff in the butter. Did he die to the god tome? No, he just went home. He got a job. He sold his company. Like, remember, the god who created humans was a Reddit mod. He literally just got bored and left. That's it. He didn't care. He just literally is like, all right, I've created bullshit. I'm gonna leave and buy. Like, he literally just did a tech startup and left. Let's see here. So we got some trade shops. To be determined. To be determined. Oh, wait, no. Wait. Let's see. Pubs. Got some. Oh wait, no. Even better. We got some red light. You know, got some pawn shops. There we go, next to the slums where they would belong. He got what he wanted and then turned in his 2-week nose and dipped. So he just dumped humans and dwarves like they were his kids and went out to get milk. Yes. That is, like, and the worst thing is, he created 7 babysitters and then left. And these babysitters are trying to figure out how to get him back. Literally, he created 7 false gods to manage the humans and not the dwarves, because he didn't think the dwarves needed a god, which is why they got super screwed over. He created 7 gods for the humans and then just peaced out. And these 7 gods are like, ah, shit. Okay, cool. I remember a friend of mine did one where the Demon King was kind of forced upon the unwilling sacrifice, like the dark magic would enter the chosen body, and when they opened their eyes, it was the Demon King. So each Demon King was different race or straight up uncanny monster. Nope. The Demon King has to always be a human. That is the way he was designed. He or she, it doesn't really, gender does not matter, but the Demon King must always be a human. Hey Chicky, hello, and thank you. Planted his seed and never looked back. Have fun, kids, don't blow up the planet in my absence. Like, and it's kind of funny, the 7 gods are also not noticed by the actual gods of this world, and because again, they literally do not realize that this is even going on, because it's pure, they only deal with humans. The 7 gods only deal with humans. So basically humans, and like the worst thing is when by the time the main gods did notice humans, they did not like them, and so now the world is kind of trying to get rid of humanity because humans got on their nerves. They're like, wait a minute, what is this? Like, the gods in general see humans as mold. Just because of their actions, by the way. You see, so wait, if that demon that Demon King is always a human, then they can die in very underwhelming ways, which is why they have a demon familiar. The demon familiar basically helps guide them into becoming an actual demon lord, including gaining spells, getting more powerful, getting delicious human sacrifice. Basically, in order to become a Demon King, you have to have a demon familiar. You have to. You can't just stumble into being a Demon King. And if the Demon King rolls out of bed too hard, they could just the cycle. No, it's not that. There's like something pretty distinct about them. The entire department of gods dealing with our crap. Yep. The Demon King sounds like a reverse Avatar. He dies, then reincarnates. He doesn't reincarnate, but it's like the title is kind of like you have to trigger something. Basically, the key to a Demon King is their demon familiar. The demon familiar basically unlocks the root tree, or your demon familiar unlocks your skill tree to become a demon lord or Demon King. Is the demon familiar different for every Demon King? Yes, though the last Demon King's familiar was Leo. So there's that. Yeah, anyway, but I believe there's last time I checked there are approximately 4 demon familiars that are capable of triggering a Demon King, and Leo is one of them, but there's 3 others. If someone becomes a Demon King before you, but you chose the Demon King route, you become a demonic apostle. So you have to go by the most powerful. Also one of my favorite things in the recent fantasy settings is mortal unintentionally summoning or creating a new god. In Elden Ring, there was a event that forced such suffering and torment on an unintentionally drawn attention of the literal god. Dang. Actually, how many demons are there? There are countless demons, but only like 4 archdemons that can trigger a Demon King. Because humans can become demons. Because again, the reason that I say humans specifically is because legitly their god or their creator literally made it that only humans can become demons. And how does one end up getting a demon familia? You can summon one, or you can turn someone into a demon and force them into a contract. I was about to ask, if the Demon King needs a demonic familiar, was Leo one? Yes, Leo was a Demon King triggering familiar. Well, not was. He is a Demon King triggering familiar. He has asked Stella if she wants to become a Demon King, and Stella, not paying attention, said no. She's like, what? No, I don't want to do that. He's like, okay. He has asked her before. That was his job. So, Demon King, demonic apostle candidate. Yeah. Sammy, this is interesting. Where can I read the demon lore? I have to write it all down and put it on a wiki or something. Why am I imagining that humanity is desperately searching for their god just so that God can pay the child support? Can half humans turn into demons? Yeah. I haven't thought about it now, but yeah, sure. You just have to have, you have to have at least like, probably like, I don't know. You probably have to have at least 25% human in you. You have to have enough human to be annoying. Oh God. Stella saw responsibility and stuff. She just didn't think about it. Stella's not that deep. It's like asking some, you know how some people are like, hey, you want to try weed? And then some people are like, nah. And then some people are like, yeah, no, I'm good. It's not even a, oh no, it's evil. She's like, nah, no, I don't feel like it. Okay, that guy. I was like, okay, that guy. Stella was one of the relationships. Stella is also not human. She is half Solarian, which is the people created by the goddess of the sun, and half she's also half nocturne elf. So she's like technically half elf, half sun person. Fun fact, the people of Hajir look human, but they are not human, which is why they don't count as human. Like, they were not created by Primate. They look like humans because they're literally the Solarians without that are unable to grow wings. But it's a recessive trait, so some of them do. Because I like being a dick about it. So yeah, like, so that's why some people will get confused, because people from Hajir and some of the Eastern nations look human, but they're not. Same thing for the people of Rouen and Kokyu. They are just Asians, but they are also technically not human because of the gods that made them. Humans are only from like the frickin' Western nations because I said so. Because I like being a dick. So yeah, it's like the amount of humans, like basically the amount of humanoid looking humans that can be infected with demonic disease is pretty much like, you know, like, I don't know, 45%. Let's see here. Running dark motif, I like it. There we go. Okay, so we have the middle class. This will be to be determined. So we got the red light district, we got the porn shops. To be determined and to be determined. I don't know, maybe like manufacturing, maybe? No, that wouldn't go there. We'll probably put it here. Manufacturing. Okay. Excuse me. The what? Don't worry about it. Okay, and then we have farm land. We got farmland and more farm. Okay, cool. Okay, so now I know where everything is. Great, we have done it, chat. We have done it. There should be a porn shop, but porn means something completely different. I can't. But yeah, like for me, I think because a lot of times people don't really think of where their poor areas go when they create a city, but for me, I really do need to know where it is if I'm gonna write about it, because it will bother me if I start kind of subconsciously switching where everything is. Like, I don't know if it's ever bothered you, but it has bothered me. Okay, so we're gonna switch to this. And let's see, can I just nah, I'll just use black. Okay, and we're gonna switch here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now that I knew that, so this is going to be the main gate. So that's the main gate, and this is the main other gate. Okay, cool, awesome. So if that's the case, okay, so these are the two biggest gates into the city, and then this is the main gate into the inner city itself. And then so and the way to get into the rich area is probably here. Oh wait, I just realized. Let's see. Actually, no, I'm not gonna put manufacturing there. No. What's gonna go here is actually gonna be trade shops. So what I'll move all this over. So we have. So we're gonna put some. So we're gonna put hotels, and then trade shops, and then manufacture. The manufacturers over there, and then we'll put this back to, I forgot what I put here, so to be determined. Okay, that's actually better. Question: what kind of magic you got here? Is it based on elements, concepts? Is it bad that the map looks like a giant Pokeball? Not the Pokeball. So magic varies depending on who and what you are. Now, the reason I say so much about humans is because humans are integral to the plot. Humans have to use, most humans do, well, they used to be able to use a type of elemental or like psychic magic, or what I've been just calling force magic, honestly. But that has declined for who knows what reason. I know the reason, but I'm not telling y'all. So for some reason, humans being able to use magic has declined. Oh no. But most humans have to use the 5-point system, which is when you cast a spell or use magic, you have 5 components. You have time, intention, elemental correlation, and cost. Those 5 components, if you are human, will have to be paid, whether it's a natural ability or not. This only applies to humans. Other races have different scales, but for humans, those are the 5 things that has to happen. One of the easiest way to boost your spells is by time. Time means the time of casting and the amount of words used. Both of those are incorporated into the time slot. So if you do use your magic too much, you will start aging prematurely, because it is basically taking your life. That's also part of cost, because cost is mana amount, but if you use too much cost, it starts to basically kill you. So yeah. Now the good news is you can recover if you do get like a potion or rest or whatever, but if you use too much at once, you'll just turn to an old raisin. So with the decline of magic in human culture, have they like substitutions to make up for it? Like, so that's actually why the setting is more Victorian and steampunk based, is because since less humans have been able to use magic, the only ones who are able, not the only ones, but the main ones that can use magic are basically the nobility, because of their proximity to the very powerful magic users in the past, because the ancient heroes, which is also Leo's fault, but we're not going to talk about that. So most magic is not really seen as required. It's seen as more of a privilege. So people had to come up with more magical items. So things like using monogems, which is a natural concentration of magic in the elements, and metalworking has become the norm. So most people can't use spells or magic, but a lot of people can use magical items because it doesn't require your own magic to use. So they don't really have guns because, again, the mages still make things annoying. And monsters still exist. Monsters are still, because monsters are straight up magic half the daggone time. Bullets do not help. Like, no. Trying to go after a giant magical monster boar with a gun is not gonna do shit. Guns don't do anything with regular boars. Like, no. But alchemy, now alchemy is not called that. There is a secret alchemy brotherhood because they're weird. Most people just call that like a part of magecraft. They just lump it in there. You see here. So if a 20-year-old dude decided to just nuke armies, he'd turn 80, he'd turn to dust. Because of, depending on how much money, like magic he used. Yeah, no, like if you do magic bullets, you'd have to be very specific. It's not that no one has done it. It's like it's seen as something you'd probably make as a hobby, but not something that is mass scalable. Hi Lyrico, hello, how's my favorite flashlight? So there's some things that do exist that just no one really pays attention to, you know? Like if someone dies by like magical bullet, they're gonna know probably who did it because it's not like commonplace. Most people will just stab you. Like, what am I gonna get an expensive, you know, $80,000 magical gun that has gold leaf on it when I can just stab you? like no. You know, like in fact, like taking trains is expensive because again, like a lot of people haven't really studied the Industrial Revolution or Victorian or Edwardian times, as well as the 1700s with the Civil War. Some things, like that's like when stuff was just starting to be invented. This is kind of where we are right now, where things are starting but things are not commonplace, you know? Like when people if a noble's gonna, like a noble challenges someone else to another duel, they're not gonna duel with a gun because they don't actually want to kill each other. Let's see here. Okay, so we got that. Good. So back to this, and so the way into the noble district is probably it's probably right here. Yeah, that works. And there's probably only like one way in or out of here because they don't want everybody just walking up in here. Well, actually no, they get their own little thing for the train, so they don't have to deal with the rabble. They don't want to deal with the rabble, so they get their own little train exit. There we go. Yes. If you are too poor to take the train, you're gonna have to go out into the wilderness. They'll send you right out there. Okay. So now let me go ahead and do the walls. Let's see. Go by trains. Yes, we do have magical trains. They are recent and they've only been at like now the Demon King War didn't end that long ago, so you know. Cool. Alchemical concepts in fantasy always seem one of my hyperfixations in these stories. A few of my favorite manga are an alchemist, basically an alchemical or artificial magic, and an Elden Ring where the boss uses the alchemy to make false deities that basically drive you insane. I think I didn't like alchemy at first, but I think it's because people always used it to be like, I just want to shoot God. Which, nothing wrong with that, but that's so anticlimactic to me. Because, okay, and it's probably obvious by now, but I do not like the whole, like, gods being killable thing. It literally makes it, because it always gets to the, we've killed God, so I gotta become God now or something, but it's always really weird. I like the idea of gods just kind of being like, not even like the Greek kind, but like kind of closer to the Shinto ones, just not the dying part. Because I really do like the idea of they just have better things to do, and so you have to do a lot to even get their attention. And getting their attention is not always a good thing, because they are not good gods. They're all just kind of neutral. Let's see, we're gonna give y'all the thick ass walls. Y'all get the thick ass walls. Let's see. How thick we talking? Yeah, there we go. Y'all get the super thick walls. Ow. Timmy, did you watch Full Metal Alchemist? No, but I know it by osmosis. So y'all get the super thick walls. Let's see here. Line tool has made my life so much easier. Alright, we'll just make it so they're thick all around. There we go. And then let's see. And then we'll make the city wall slightly thinner. The trains they're pretty fast. The thing is, the trains don't go very long distances. They basically go through depending on where it is. Like, for example, like once they get into a country, then they might go a little ways depending on how big the country is. So they go decently. It's just basically the way the trains work and why they're so expensive is that they go through warp gates that basically take them to a completely different area, since trying to just travel like the regular way is really dangerous, because again, monsters that fly. So it's kind of very difficult. It's kind of like, you know, the technology is fine, but then you have like, you know, I don't know, Godzilla just like partying down next to you, so you can't really do that much. A god that dies is a false god. Like, it's, and it bothers me sometimes because, again, like, you know, for me, if you're like, and again, because there's a false god here, which is the guy who made humans. He's not a real god, he's a false god, you know, that he did all this damage and the actual gods didn't even notice, because technically he didn't really do anything. You know, like, it always bothers me how it's kind of like, oh, you know, like, we got a god here, but he's like, you know, but like, I don't know, it's always like some random goddess lady, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know. And personally, I think, like, plot wise, it also makes things really weird. You know, so for me, I'd much rather just make it so, like, because that, it also, in my opinion, it makes it really interesting when you actually do have powerful gods able to, you know, do things, you know, like that's just how I feel about it, you know, where I feel like, no, if I'm gonna have gods in this story, they're gonna actually do something, you know, none of this, oh, we don't know if the god's really there or not, and, you know, like no offense, but like everyone's just weirdly atheists in half of these daggone fantasy stories. Like, how do you have this many atheists? Like, it's so weird. I don't even mind atheists. Like, atheists are fine in reality, but atheists in fantasies always weird me out, because I'm like, how? Like, yeah, people don't believe in gravity, but like gravity still exists, but these people like, I don't believe in gods, and the gods don't even do anything. You know, like, and maybe it's because I like high fantasy, and I could just get tired of the amount of weird, like, accidental pseudo-Christian nonsense they keep making, you know? Like Christianity is fine in reality, but it's always like, in fantasy, it always gets super weird, because then people start being like pussyfooting around, being like, well, you know, you got God here, but he's not like, you know, he's not like the actual Christian God. Like, the Christian God's gonna notice you're making weird fanfic or something. Like, and this is just my personal pet peeve, obviously. Whatever you do in your setting, do whatever you want, but it always bothers me how, like, the gods are just kind of like this weird moot point in their stories, and then they just get murdered, and I'm like, why? What was the point? Right? Like, bro, you can do so much with alchemy. It's such it has such eerie, mysterious connections to it, and most people use it to make a gun. Like, come on, go crazy. Make an alchemist who can unintentionally finds a way to make artificial healing magic when only those connected to the gods should use it, or make them forge magic stones that create monsters. Like legit have fun, do stuff, but it's always just like, gun. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Visi Pop is one, yeah. I'm just like, girl, what was the point? Like, what is the point? I think I gotta think up some trains. I've had one faction tech level at 170 to the Civil War period, trying to think of how the factions would advance, because it's lame to have them stay the same in 100 years. I should make up something up with chains, only if you want to. Only if you want to, because you have to also think of the logistics of it. Like, the only reason I have trains is because they figured out how to make what they've called rune gates, that basically are portals through space from one place to another. If they did not figure out how to make rune gates, trains would actually never take off. So, not gonna lie, researching alchemy is quite nice, since these symbols are quite easy to do and make, so I've been using them a while. Like, alchemy is great. It's a great resource. It gets a little loopy at the end, but it's actually really cool. Like, in this, like, basically Stella is an alchemist. Because again, the way I decided is that alchemy is basically a combination of a bunch of other practices, which is why she calls it that, but alchemy is kind of technically not a thing. They just call it magecraft. But there's like using of runes, there's using there's like basically there's runes, there's, you know, spellcraft, there's secret languages, there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with magic in this world, you know, like using specific materials. And like, also fun fact, when people die in this world, they leave a core behind. You know how they have a monster core? Everybody leaves behind a core except for dwarves, because their god was a dick. But humans leave cores behind too. Everybody leaves a core behind. Like, after your bones and your blood and all that has, you know, drifted or whatever, you become, then whatever magic you might have had gets condensed into a core. Even people who can't use magic still have a core at the center of them. See, also the only time I've seen the, oh, I can kill a god done right was with Fear and Hunger. Oh yeah, Fear and Hunger is like legitly the only thing that ever makes sense. Like, you can fight gods, read about the gods dying, and the gods you fight are the equivalent of the nose hair they accidentally left, and the ones that were in books died because people forgot about them and stopped praying to them, and their influence has basically disappeared. Like, fighting the remnants of a god is completely fine, but I hate when it's just like, no, this is a straight up actual straight ass god here, and they be dying of like freaking stab wounds or whatever. I'm like, what is this? Like that be pissing me off. I'm like, but if it's like the remnants of a god or something that they've sloughed off, that makes sense, because that's something that the god, that's the impure part of a divine being. That's fine. But it's always just like, oh no, this is the guy who created the universe and all of time, and he died to, like, you know, a boot to the face. And I'm like, oh. Or we cut him in half, and I'm like, and then I'm like, Arthur Kun, why did you do that? Why did you make your god such a bitch? Why did you make your powerful divine being such a bitch? Like, why? Why would you do that? Okay, so we got the walls, so let me do the inner walls now. There we go. And again, this is like my personal pet peeve. Some people like their weird power fantasies, and that's fine. You know, if you like your power fantasy, that's okay. That's alright. You know, you do you. You know? Just don't do that over here. Something says like gods are concepts, you can't kill a concept. Exactly, but they be doing this. It's always, and they always die to like the most, and the thing is, a lot of gods always die to like the most basic BS. Like, it's like, I'm surprised no one's killed a god with peanut butter allergies at this point. It's so ridiculous. Kira's Archive makes quite a good point in his video about the fall of a god on what goes on and possibilities of it. Yeah, like, for example, for me, that's why the gods of this world exist, regardless of whether their people believe in them, you know. And in my opinion, like, you know, if you don't want to believe in them, that's fine, but it's not gonna do anything to them, you know. Like, but every single time you see like, oh, you know, we got the, you know, the goddess of mayonnaise or whatever, and then, you know, oh no, you know, no one believes in the goddess of mayonnaise and now she's dead, but clerics still have powers for some reason, and I'm like, what the fuck, why? Like, oh, that'd be pissing me off when you have a gods-based magic system, but the magic system still works despite the god being dead. Oh, that pisses me off. That's some non-committal bullshit right there. That is non-committal bullshit. No, show the consequences. If that's the case, then what's the point of putting now, if the god turned out to be a lie the entire time and the magic came from the magic of friendship or some crap, fine. But it's always just like, oh, I prayed to the goddess Minerva or whatever the crap, and she gives me powers, but now Minerva's dead, but I can still use Minerva's powers somehow. What the? No, you non-committal biscuit. Like, use your own determination. What are you doing? Yeah, what if our gods are just a bunch of nerds trying to play a fucked up game of The Sims in their dimension? We're all one mistake away being placed in the pool. I can't. Okay, the walls are done. Look at them walls. Look at all these walls. They're definitely gonna keep the Titans out. This is great. I need to stop. I gotta be good. Let's see. Also, I've been playing Terraria Calamity. They provide nice lore as well as since that for them a god dies due to the remnants has a side effect, and it's quite nice, and I haven't read enough of it yet. It's like me not believing in peanuts, but we still have peanuts. Exactly. Like, but I honestly, this is my personal opinion, okay? This is my personal opinion. People who like to make stories that revolve around killing gods just because, it's because they feel powerless themselves and they think that they're destroying something so much more powerful than themselves is gonna make them feel better. It won't, and their dad will never love them. Let me stop. I need to be good. I need to be on my best behavior. Okay. So then we're gonna go ahead and do walls. We're gonna do the thinner walls now. Okay. Anyway, let's see. I had the thoughts of if something's low level and mortal killed a god, then it's not actually a god. Like, there are portals to different planets, and a giant salamander came from them, which nobody from the other worlds have ever seen, and they just thought that thing's so big, it has to be a god. It's so big. Oh god. Are those walls with the Titans test with the Jaeger approved? Yes. Honestly, a god who nobody worships but still powerful is an easy answer, but MF for bulks, yeah. I honestly really do feel it's always just a bunch of former like Christians not knowing what to do with themselves. Nothing wrong with, and the thing is, I actually have nothing against being an atheist, but I don't like the type of atheist that's just, well, I used to believe in a thing and it didn't do what I wanted, so I don't believe in that thing anymore. No. No. I personally think that's the dumbest way to be an atheist. It's just because you're not really an atheist. It's not that you don't believe in, it's not like you don't believe in any gods. It's just you don't like one in particular and you're still like mad about it. You know, like that's why I have no problem with people, whatever your faith is. I don't care what your faith is, as long as it doesn't revolve around specifically killing black people. Then we might have a problem. Like, please be bad to me now. That's why I made it so that in my setting, gods are just tiny projections of a bigger beings, so killing one basically is scratching the bigger one's pinky toe. Not the toe. Let's see, I've been writing Semi's favorite, which is the boy. Look, I love the boy, he's great. And I've been looking at things to inspire me to try and sort out some settings. I was actually reading about Oberon, their Oberon setting. I really like it. I don't like that, you know, Wizards of the Coast is like, but how do we put slavery? But outside, if you take this weird random amount of slavery out of Eberron, it's actually really cool setting wise. They're like, I'm like, Wizards of the Coast, you don't have to have slavery. You don't have to put it there. Why are you doing that? Sorry, not Eberron with an E. Eberron, where artifices are basically introduced in D&D. One of my favorite things about making up my world is that thinking that unique things for typical fantasy races like giants come in different sizes, but the bigger they are, the bigger their legs are, and so the weight is supported. Yeah, Eberron. Yeah, that's right. I know the fantasy world, fantasy with sci-fi, but the whole other, that's a whole other can of beans, and I'd like to add my feelings to the world. Toblerone. Let's see. Oh, nope. There we go. Y'all know what I mean. Let's see. Oh wait, no, I don't want that. I want this, so I can actually, you know. But my thing is like, you know, but it almost always just kind of comes down to someone is power tripping and just, or someone feels like, you know, oh, I'm not getting enough bitches or whatever, and then before you know it, like they're making some weird like, oh yep, Ted the protagonist has to, you know, he's gotta kill God because Stacy wouldn't go out with him, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I don't care. you know. Yeah, there's a manufacturer district in here too. But like, I'm just like, God damn it. No, and again, like, it's and all it does, in my opinion, is it just makes the story shittier. Because it's always just like, oh no, like, you know, my I can't, like, you know. And then they always, I don't know, it's just really boring. Oh, hey, there is Sam. Oh, sample size. Welcome in, welcome in. My name is Semi Enigma. I'm an Elder Dragon mom boss. Thank you so much for joining the organization. You can pick up a badge at the front desk. Fucking Stacy, am I right? Like, I don't know. It's like, and it's just boring to me because I'm like, how am I supposed to have a sense of wonder if you're just complaining about going to Walmart that one time? Like, oh my god. Don't block me. Also, giants have shark like skin that looks smooth but is thousands of tiny scales. Because I thought human skin would look ugly and uncanny. This is very valid. This is very valid. So true. Gosh, Stacy, you didn't have to blur channel 5 perfect. I can't. There we go. But I don't know. And again, this is obviously just how I feel about a lot of things because I personally think it's just kind of dumb, you know, when I'm supposed to basically take this stuff seriously and it's just like, oh man, you know, oh, like like I can't, like, it's just like, oh man, you know, like I can't believe like Stacy, like, you know, was mean to me, and so now I'm gonna put Stacy in my story and she's gonna oh jeez. There we go. Okay, there we go. Yay! We did it. Okay. And if I did make hello, hey Vivid, hi. Let's see, and if I did make them look like big humans, that'd be, while being pretty, that would raise many questions like, how is the predator giant good with skincare, and when they're living up in the cave, and is the container of, how big is the container of lotion? I can't. How is creation stronger than the creator? Like, yeah, that'd be getting me. I'm like, and again, if that's something that doesn't matter to you in your fantasy story, that's fine. You know, if you want to have that type of story, okay, but I'm not gonna read it. What if Stacy's mom was Jesse's girl? Ah, that sounds valid. So thank you for the care combo. I stretch. I don't know what my posture's doing, and I drink my tea. Give him the divine wheel. Do it. Is your take that you are bored with villains? That villains arcs start because of a Stacy, or DMs are making the villain based off on this? No, I'm not. I can't really do the girl did not like me and so I be evil villains. I can't do that. I can't. Like, my villains are too bisexual for that nonsense. I can't do that. Like, oh man, this girl didn't like me, I'm gonna be evil. And I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm gonna do me a wee bit of genocide because, you know, Stacy didn't go out with me. And I'm like, the fuck? No. Go to therapy. If you're gonna be evil, pick something better. I don't know, do it because your mom stole your Game Boy or something. Jeez. See, even in Baldur's Gate, you can choose to be the scions of a literal god, literally a child of the god of murder. What? And you aren't some god slaying Mary Stew, you're just a lizard. In my case, a drow. That could be killed by a giant spider at any time. Alright, guess I'm gonna go Kings of the Field. I mean, a creation of becoming stronger than its creator, I'm pretty sure most humans aren't as strong as a car. Like, and I understand it's a fantasy, it's a power fantasy, because the more powerless you feel, the more powerful you want to be in your fantasy. I just don't want to do that. Because to me, it just comes across as kind of silly, you know? The only time I'm evil is if you mess with my money. Like, my villains are evil because of really stupid reasons, but it's not because of a girl. My favorite villain is literally the guy who's like, heroic souls taste delicious. I'm gonna just collect a bunch of petite young girls, you know, in a not harem to just attract heroic boys to my house so I can eat their soul. He's literally like, I am a groomer that just literally just uses girls as bait and just throws them out into the world to attract a heroic boy because these girls are pathetic. Like, oh my god, like, I don't know, what's a pathetic girl name? Not pathetic girl name, but what's a heroic, not her, like, oh my god, I don't know. What? I don't know, Annie or whatever. Like, oh no. Annie's like, I don't know, I'm being summoned back to my Dark Lord's house where he will do horrible things to me. And like some guy named, like, I don't know, Jason's like, I am a heroic young man and who's approximately age 15. I will save you, Annie. And Annie's like, no, you'll die. And he's like, no, I have God and anime on my side. And then he just gets his soul drained by this freaking jackass. And he's like, good job, Annie. You have gotten me my next sandwich. And Annie just dies of depression. Because she loved him. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie's like, I'm not okay. My boyfriend got killed by my kind of not dad. Like, he's my favorite villain because he's psychotic. He's the guy that literally who got a dude, groomed him into being a slave master, and then set him up to fall in love with a sad like hooker, and then sell that said hooker and his unborn child into slavery to prove a point. This guy's horrifying. He also has the stupidest name. His name is Devious. His name is Devious Kane. He's a horrible person. Do not like him. He's bad. He's a bad man. Like, oh my god. Anyway, so I hate those kind of villains. Also, the type of villains like my dad beat me when I was a kid, and the system is corrupt, and I have moral high ground, and even though I'm willing to drown children. Man, only halfway through the week and I'm already done with it. Damn. That's a bad week, eh? It's a bad week? Let's see. Let's shave me off a little bit. There we go. Oh yeah, I should probably save. I'll go to 130. Anyway. The only time I made a villain who had a stupid reason was evil. Was to be evil because he could do magic. That's pretty valid. Got the anime comedy stuff. I do. Does Leo have a twink form? Asking for people. Leo can shapeshift into pretty much any type, so some of his previous masters did want him to be female, so he has been female, he has been twink, he has been a twink, and he has been a child. He has taken all these forms on because that is what his master at the time wanted, but his current form is actually his default. I do have twisted humor, just a bit. Yes, some people who have been the master of Leo wanted him to look like a child for totally normal reasons. So, and he's just like, I mean, okay, if that's what you want, I guess. Like, it's not so much that he's fine with it, he's just like, well, that's what my master wants, sure. If it'll get them to be a demon king faster, sure. I will look like I'm 11. Saying those guys piss me off. Like, okay, you've been through horrible thing in life and are obviously traumatized. It's okay to be mad about it, but it's not okay to be a dick and make it everyone else's problem. Okay, oh, I missed a spot. There we go. How many times has Leo found a new master? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Cass. Don't worry about it. You know what? Leo is evil. Why am I even surprised his masters were just as bad? Oh, Leo has had some horrifying masters in the past, and he also just enables their bullshit. But yeah, the Fem Leo he's been a woman several times. which is really funny because like he still will, no matter what, he will always identify as male, you know, which he does use to irk his master sometimes. He's like, just so you know, master, you're doing the gay right now. Like he will legitly do that. For once I word for the crazy anxiety riddled archdemon. I'm sure some would claim that I am a villain because I used to devour entire universes as my job. What? Like, it was my job. It's like a trash collector, a villain. How about the mailman or the milkman? That's why I kind of like Jack Horner from Puss in Boots. He's just silly amounts of evil, despite the fact that he had a loving rich parents and massive pile of massive pie business. And one of the bad thing that happened to him is that he just outplayed by Pinocchio. Like, when you have someone who just wants to be evil because they just see it as exercising their freedom, that's fine. Some people are like that. I still love that Bakugo had no reason. Yes, Bakugo is not a villain, but I do like how Bakugo is so freaking villain adjacent, even though he had a perfectly loving family and he has a dad. He has a mommy and a daddy that love him, and I love him. He's so great. Bakugo's best boy. Anyway, wait, speaking of stupid edge anime protagonist, I was convinced to read Redo of Healer. Ooh, honey. Oh no. And bro, I couldn't even finish the chapter 1. This was made by a dude who never matured past middle school. Yeah, no. I love Bakugo because Bakugo is great. Bakugo is best character. People would fight me. Okay, so we have like the entranceway, and so okay. And so let's see. You do that, and then we're gonna do some openings here. Oh, come on. Okay, so we have this way, this way, this way. The biggest way to get in there. Then you have to go through the Guild Plaza to get to the trains. Okay. And they have a way through here and a way through here. And then we also have here. Let's see. Now we're gonna make it so, because this is the city, so they're gonna have two different ways. Yeah, and then they have one main gate. No wait, it's gonna be in the center because this is where all the hookers live. That's where all the hookers live. Boop, boop. Okay, to here, to here. Oh, actually, let me get rid of this. There we go, because we don't need that. And then right here. Oop, nope. Right here. Yeah. Anyway. Hey Bakugo as a character, but I loved his character development, and man, he became the man he became after. Like, that's the thing about characters like that. When you make him really bad at the beginning, I mean, I liked him in the beginning anyway. The problem is that Deku is just kind of such a weak character that Bakugo just ended up looking better to me, because like Deku lost me immediately the minute he became he got involved with All Might. I never liked Bakugo, but in his serious character moments and his funny moments, like even when he's the butt of a joke, he gets on the nerves, but he's serious and he's a shitty person. Yeah. Boop, boop. How dare you? Leave the hookers alone. Leave the hookers alone. They have too much going on right now. Like, oh my god. But yeah, there is a red light district. There's like the legit one, and then there's the shitty one. You know, because there's types. There we go. Yeah. Right here. Okay, now not all societies in this world are patriarchal. Some are matriarchal, some are egalitarian. Gardenia is patriarchal though, for better or for worse. Let's see. There we go. Because like for me, I had to kind of figure out, did I want to deal with the patriarchy or not? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, the true villain has always been the patriarchy, you know? But then I didn't get past MHA season 1. Yeah. Gardenia, that one's not a bread company. There we go. Yes. Okay. But yeah, it's and these are just entryways into each area. There we go. Okay, and then for here, let's see. Just like that, and right here. There we go. Perfect. Welcome to the mega slums, where everything just like you don't want to go in the. Got great background music. Thank you. If you want to know where I got my background music from, it is from Whitebacked Audio. It is it is copyright free, but you do have to credit him. But he actually has a ton of great music. Check out Whitebacked Audio if you want to check out some really nice like synthy music. I'm not sure. Anyway. But yeah, but the red light, there's different type of red light districts. Like, because again, I kind of want it all, like, because when it comes to these type of places, they all tend to be in the same place. So also, like, I kind of like the idea of like knowing where everything is. So this is kind of like when you come to town, they kind of make it so it's pushed back from the main areas, but you can't, if you came in like the back way, you might stumble back there. Let's see. Oh God, what are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about over there? What are you doing? Well, I was not expecting to find Arctic Aphoretta haters here. What? Not that. What the hell is Aphoretta? Is that the one with the weird bunny girl in it? Let's see. We got this. Okay. And then let me give myself some thinner walls. Yes. Oh, okay. I've heard about it, but I don't know what it's about. I don't really care, honestly. Okay, so we have here. Okay, so then we have, which I'll probably have to go, like, you know, let's see. Oh, I'll have to deal with like a freaking new isekai. Aphoretta basically isekai about a edgy guy who wants revenge on classmates because one guy betrayed him and now he uses alchemy to get guns and cars. I'm going home. Oh my God. To be honest, I get the genre if it's just the vampire alone, but build the harem build. Yeah. Man, people do not pay attention. I love harems, okay, but why do they always go super lazy? They're like, it's always just like some guys just like stumbles into, like, the girls be in the middle of being S8 or whatever, and he's like, and he does like the bare minimum, and she's like, oh my God, I want to marry you, and he's like, I mean, you know, and then, you know, she has like a sister, and sister's like, well, you saved my sister, so I will also dedicate my life to you. And he's like, I mean, cool, bet, you know. And then there's like, I don't know, a child. There's always literally a child who's like either a slave or like a sea urchin or something, and he gives her bread or something. She says like, oh my God, I may be 5 years old, but I will also dedicate my life to you. I can't wait to grow up to be your wife. And I'm like, ew, gross. You know, and then there's like some freaking like 20-year-old lady who everyone keeps pretending is 40, and she's like, oh, you know, ara, you know, boobs bouncing, and I always do that one pose that makes my boobs stick out, and I'm totally not gonna groom this 15-year-old, and I'm like, oh my God, like it's so boring. Like, no, and it doesn't even matter if the girl's like powerful or anything, she will just be useless by the end of the series. Well, not even the end. Whoever the most powerful girls are, they will be depowered by the end of the introductory episode. Like, that is a given. Because men are scared of women who have autonomy, I guess. Like, if I'm going to have a harem, like Simeon says, a power fantasy, I'm going to earn the stuff. Just getting it for free doesn't make it fun at all. It doesn't. This is not walled off because this is the fancy district. They don't have hard walls, technically. But they do have some boundary lines, so let's give them some boundary lines. We will do, let's see, we'll do a nice light purple for them. We'll do a nice light purple for them. And see, and then he always marries the first woman he sees, and the rest are never relevant until the end, or until one of them dies. Yeah, pretty much. What good harem have you watched and could recommend? Honestly, one of my favorite harems was actually Uta Prince, but that's not an isekai. And that one that had a bunch of gods in it. Like they were gods forced to go to high school by Zeus or something, because they ended up having to save just one of the guys. The girl wasn't even really involved. It was really funny. And I guess Merman in My Bathtub, but that's a friend harem, but it still counts. We've been over this. Was there a kid that, but the guy actually saved her and she wanted him to be your dad and spoils it? Like I would like that more, but because people are perverts, if they see anything remotely feminine, she will be groomed at some point, and that is just how it is. I hate it. Because like then guys never really think of being fathers, they just think of being very, very, very pathetic lovers. They don't strive for fatherhood, you know? Like, honestly, if like, and again, we're not gonna crash out, but honestly, if Shield Hero focused more on being Raphtalia's dad instead of accidentally grooming her, I think I would have been okay. But because the author thinks that adult women are scary, he just ends up creepily grooming girls all the time. And I'm like, and that's sad to me. Like, that's sad that, like, you know, Naofumi could have been an interesting character, but oh no. We got it. Adult women are scary. Ugh. Like, better groom these girls. Let's groom this child. Oh my god, God damn it, Naofumi. Anyway, we're not gonna crash out today, but like, I don't know, it bothers me because like, Naofumi would be a great dad before he got into the story. Anyway, he would have been a decent dad, but now we're gonna make him a creep. We're gonna make him a creep. And I'm like, and he's like, I'm not, like, because Naofumi's like, I'm not actually a pedophile, it's just this world keeps throwing little girls at me, I can't help myself. I'm like, I'm gonna kill this man. Anyway. It's like, but then also I hate the love triangles. One of my favorite animes is Macross Frontier, and wait, let me look at the time. Okay, I got 15 more minutes. And I know they're Macross series, but I gotta, like, I don't know, like, I don't mind love triangles, I just don't like them to last very long, you know, because they make some delicious angst, you know. But like, but if they're not going to be angsty, then go home. You know, I don't want none of this, like, this, there's not a love triangle, there is a love V. Like, that is what that is. There is a love V, because, like, the guy blatantly loves one of them, and there's a girl who's just tacked on, who doesn't even do anything. She's just tacked on there, you know? Because the author technically wants to have their cake and eat it too, you know? No, screw you. You're gonna pick, if you want to harp on the monogamy train, get on the stupid monogamy train. Otherwise, make them poly and be done with it, you coward. I might have some slightly warm takes, you know, slightly warm, like microwaved, you know, like deliciously microwaved takes, you know, completely normal. There we go. I'm half asleep. Okay, go ahead. Thank you very much for lurking. Arg. Also, you mentioned friendship harems. Honestly, I think I'd be way into that, like, more than, oh, he's going to date them all, but I prefer the, oh, look, they're good friends and they're glad to be looking out for one another. Like, honestly, friend harems are great because they actually have a lot more connectivity and wholesomeness, because the problem with harems or romantic harems is, you know, they're only here for this guy's dick, not because they really care about him. But friend harems, they actually do care about them because they know that sex and or marriage is not actually on the table. So they're forced to care about the person a lot more, you know? I don't have a microwave. Oh my god, Cass, you need a microwave. We're gonna have to have a microwave fund for Cass. We're gonna have to save him. We must I'm gonna save him and get him a microwave. He must know the torment of having microwavable dinner. Like, you need to have microwavable dinner, cask. Go. Okay, we're almost done with some of the inner districts here. Looking good, looking good. There we go. Because one girl named Cheryl looks like she'd be the same age as Alto, the guy in the triangle, and then the other part is the triangle's a girl named Ranka, and they say she's 1 year older than Alto, but she's short and looks younger. I don't like that. Yeah, it's literally just, how do we figure out how to get this blatant child into this weird situation? You know, not to say that you can't make like younger looking characters work, but a lot of times it's just, I just kind of want to be a pedophile and not have anybody notice. You know, like that's how that shit be going half the daggone time. It's just like, I just want to be a pedo, but I don't want the consequences of being a pedo. You know, like that's all that ever boils down to half the freaking time, and it bothers me. It bothers me. Let's see. This is Humanga. I'm reading where the dude made friends with 2 popular girls and they are so sweet and it's good. That's good. Grammarly decided to close this tab when I signed in. Damn. They see there are cute moments and times when they talk about their interests and how they love spending time together, and it's awesome. Like, that's cute. Like, give me that cute stuff. I'm tired of the, oh no, how is girl B gonna show her panties to guy J this time? And I'm like, panties aren't even that great. Why? They're not even that good. They're just clothing. It's just like, oh, panties. And I'm like, oh god. Hey Joey, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Well, they, I do like me some will they won't they though. Like, that is very fun. You know, or if you're gonna have a love triangle, have it actually be real. Don't have it be like a love V. Literally have the, if you're gonna force monogamy, have there be some delicious angst. Give me that angst. Let's see. Oh. I'm also cleaning my algorithm. Like, why? Why did you make her look younger? Also, no lewd stuff, which, like, yeah, the no lewd is also quite nice, just because, like, lewd in the wrong hands always just looks really stupid. It's just like, oh no, you know, there's I don't know why my first thought was there's squirrels in my pants, but like it's like, oh no, there's squirrels in my pants. If you know, hello at all, how are you? Let's see. But like, I don't know, because like when I decided for my isekai story, just so I can concentrate on the story itself, not Candace, like I actually decided that there will be no smut in this story. None. Zero smut. After 20 years of working on this one story, this will be the first and only version that has no smut in it. But as a result, it's actually made it better. Sorry, like, it's very difficult to not have smut because Leo exists and he is all about it, but I have to be good this year. Yes, the shrimp. I don't like fan service in anime. It makes me feel kind of guilty and ashamed as a dude watching it. Yeah, fan service is weird when it's forced upon you, you know? Like, I like fan service when it makes sense, but I hate it when it's just like, oh no, they're going to the store and her panties are showing. What the crap? Like, it's like literally, I would literally, if I had the time, I would literally find fan service anime and literally re-edit, so instead of bouncing on the girl, it literally just stares at the guy's crotch or his ass or something every single time just to see what would happen. Just like, she's like talking and just focuses on his crotch. It focuses on his crotch or his butt every single time. You know, instead of boobs, you get just this guy's butt. And if it's not in the episode, I will find it from another episode and just Photoshop it right there. To start call the video. What do you want? What do you mean? I don't have to write schmut. I can write vanilla nonsense. Though it's very funny because like Leo apparently gets worse if he is not allowed to do any type of consummation. So yeah. Like, I'm just like, dude, I'm trying to figure out how to write this man without him sounding like he's constantly thirsty, and it's getting kind of difficult. Because, like, him being around Stella is the funniest thing ever. Like, and the worst thing is he knows that he's attractive to other people, and so he will also tease other people. I'm like, can you stop making people thirsty, please? He's like, no. And then there's those annoying guys that show the, oh man, you're so lucky to fall under her skirt even though you got hit. I'm like, sorry, a punch to the face is not worth me seeing some boobs. Nope. Nope. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. This looks good. This looks good. Cool. Look at this map. Look at this weird, totally not eyeball map. This is great. Just vanilla, no strawberry, chocolate to make it Neapolitan. No, no Neapolitan. We're only doing vanilla today. Only vanilla. Not even French vanilla. Just regular. Not walled eye. This is Valis. We've been over this. Okay, and let me go ahead and put the river in here. Let's see. Okay, so let me like label these. So, river. This is the rich district. This is inner walls. And then this is circles. I don't know. And then this is, let's see, major main walls. There we go. So I can just know what's what. As a Mech fan, I have tried to get into Full Metal Panic, but the freaking fan service and the Cinderace comedy, I hate Cinderace with all my heart. I felt like torture. Like, yeah, no, I get that. Like, I know why some people like Cinderace, and it's basically just boils down to you gaslighting yourself into thinking that girl that obviously hates you might secretly like you. That is the only reason people like Cinderace. That is it. Because no one ever really does the work to get a Cinderace to like you. No one actually does, because that's a lot of work. You know, you're gonna put up with abuse because this girl's kind of cute? Hell nah. You need, like, respect yourself, brother. What are you doing? You can do better. There we go. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna have the river. Nice deep blue. Okay, so we have the river. Okay. So we have the river here. So it pools here. They have a little bit of a kind of a lake situation. And then it goes around right here. Kind of thins out a little bit. And it goes back here. All right. Yes. And then there's another little pool thing here, and then it leaves there. Okay. Yeah, this looks artificial because they made it artificial. There's a little pair of butt cheeks here. Okay, let me stop. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna make it weird little butt cheeks. Oh, that'd be terrible. There we go. Anyway. Some girls can get away with it. Yeah, I know. The only Cinderace that I care about is Osaka from Evangelion, because she's effed up childhood. Cheeked up oranges. Now, the apocalypse could have been fully averted if they... Honestly, if you ever want to know what Evangelion looks like without weird BS-ery in it, look up Razafon. Razafon is just Evangelion with more cohesive storytelling. That is Razafon. Okay, it doesn't look as pretty as Evangelion, but it has a better story, in my opinion. Not the cheeked up. I'm being good. Okay. Let's see. The other reason that there is this moat is... Now, this little thing back here is because they kind of made it, but... The other reason that there's this moat is this is also from the olden times where they're like, okay, if everyone has to go retreat to the city, they can draw up the bridge and basically keep everyone safe in there. That's the other reason that there's a moat. Okay. Okay, so now we need a bridge. We need a nice little bridge. The bridges are metal now, so perfect. Rod's Fun Man, I love that show, but it made me hate the character I thought I liked at the ending. Yeah, it did do that, didn't it? Let's see. Make this a bit wider. And right here. Well, not everything, but I wish it turned out. But yeah, it definitely. I think the problem with Rod's Fun is that it kind of suffered from the I think it suffered from being a little bit like, it's like, I think it was kind of a little too reactionary for its own good, you know, that basically Rod's Fun just felt like someone was trying to like do a fix for Evangelion. Like, that is legitly what it feels like, you know, in my opinion. like Razafon just felt like it was trying to be Evangelion, and so it basically took on some of Evangelion's problems without really like thinking about it, I think. And that's literally just my opinion, obviously, because like it was so good, but like it's source material being Evangelion. It's not source material, but it's inspiration being Evangelion shows. There we go. I can't spell that. Spell that. There we go. So we have bridges. We have little bridges. Hooray. Okay. Cool. Let's see. And there is a secret entrance. So we're gonna put this up here. So we're gonna put this secret entrances. Can't spell, but it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter that I can't spell. Let's see. Let's slow you down. Also, thank you very much for the lurk. I greatly appreciate it. So when you come through here, so you can secretly get in, like right here. Ooh, right here. Like right here. You can get in secretly. So you gotta have some secret entrances, kids. You gotta have that. So you get a secret entrance in through here to the slums, but it's a secret. It's a secret. It's a secret. Oh man. Let's see. So you can secretly get in that way. There you go. And there's just the one. You only get that one anyway. And then when I bring up Eva, there's always some people who are like, man, Shinji is such a bitch and he should just push down the trauma and love his dad for giving him a Mac. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I hate when people are like that. Shinji needed a hug. Shinji needed a hug. If I was an Evangelion, I would drop kick his dad and like just take like Shinji, Rei, and Osaka, and I would take them and I would take care of them, you know, give them the therapy that they need. Well, technically Rei doesn't need therapy, but I don't know, I'll figure out what to do with her. But they need to be taken care of. They're just children. They're just, you know, I'll kidnap the entire school. I will kidnap the entire high school of these people and take care of them. I'm like, you don't deserve these children. I'll take care of them. I'll be their mom. I'll probably still take the Max though, because they look cool. Give everybody some delicious free therapy. Yes, there's a secret entrance. A secret entrance is nice, but it's not a tunnel. It's through one of the guard towers. It's like secretly under the guard tower. But yeah, so because again, I want to think of cool story stuff. I don't want to have it here just because. I want there to be cool story shit, you know. So if you, so like imagine it chat, like you can't get into the city. They're like, no, fuck you, you're not allowed in here, you don't got the paperwork. So you go all the way around, you discover the delicious slums, you're hanging out in there, you're eating the barley, and then you discover through hearsay that there's a secret tunnel, and then you get into the mega slums. Let me stop. Yeah, yes, I did miss the Avatar reference because I never actually watched Avatar. That's part of the crossovers Super Robot Wars games, is that it proves that the kids just needed hugs and support. Aww. But yeah, so there is one way in, and this is a very closely guarded secret. They're like, no one knows, but if you pay good money, we can get you into the city proper. And then once you're into the slums, you can definitely get into the rest of the city. It's just, you gotta have the paperwork. You gotta have a reason for business. You know, you can't just traipse in there. You gotta have a reason, you know? I think that's the thing about walled cities that people don't think about, is how hard it is to get into them. But I also think this kind of adds to that though. Like if you're from there, you're fine. But if you're like a stranger, they have a reason to be wary. Like what if you're secretly a freaking like shape-shifting monster or something? They gotta be on the lookout, you know? Let's see. Oops. Oh shit, it's already past 1:30. Okay, anyway, we are done for now. Thank you for joining me while I was doing some map building. Yes, I am the type of world builder that makes maps because I'm weird. But yeah. Oh man, I would have gone straight up to 2 o'clock. I gotta get food. I haven't eaten today. Anyway, let's go back over here. All right. Let me save 20 million times and then we'll go ahead and close. There we go. There. Quick, give me an anime. I don't know. Cool drawing. Thank you. Also, welcome in. I am a pancake. Hello. Bye bye. See you next time. Yeah. Nothing wrong with drawing new maps. Like I love maps because when I do writing, I need to know where everything is. And it's even better because he gets the support in the same hot-blooded badass guy that people want Shinji to be. Yeah, like Shinji would be fine if he just had some emotional support. Name, give me a name. Turnstile. The name is Turnstile. Make it work. Anyway. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. I ran a little bit over budget. Sorry about that. But we had fun today. We talked about world building. We talked about tropes. We talked about how shitty it is that people don't respect the gods they create. So, yeah, anyway, we will continue on Friday. I might be drawing something else, or I might be continuing this map. I don't know. But thank you for joining me. If you're watching the VOD, I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you like and subscribe, I guess. I don't know. What else? Be good, behave, don't be a menace. Do your best. I believe in you. And yeah. But thank you very much, everybody. You have a good day, okay? See you Friday. Because I stream on Wednesdays and Fridays, so. Okay. Bye, everybody. Love you. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.